You're listening to the Staging Sips podcast with Lori Fisher. This podcast is dedicated to helping real estate staging CEOs build healthy businesses that grow, flow, and thrive. Hey there, everybody. Before the podcast episode starts, I just wanted to remind you that the doors to Rethink You Accelerate open September 22nd, 2023. However, if you are on the wait list, they are opening earlier for you so that you can take advantage of joining us for our group coaching call happening September 21st from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are not on the wait list, I suggest you get yourself over there and get on it. And that is at rethinkhomeinteriors.com/waitlist. We'll have it in the show notes for you so that you can get in and take advantage of getting an extra call before the doors open for all of the general masses of people. Okay. So look forward to seeing you in there. Our community is super excited to welcome you in and share lessons learned, wins, frustrations, troubleshooting, all the good things. So come and join us. And again, if you're not on that wait list, get your butt over there. Get it done. All right. Looking forward to seeing you on the inside. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. This week is a really tactical, implementable, if that's a word, episode for you. We are going to be diving into the ways that you can protect your staging business. And it's really what is, in my mind, I've been envisioning this Cover Your Assets series. And we'll have these episodes throughout where we really dive into policies, procedures to protect your people, your profit, your business in the long run. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to protect your inventory and your assets through your vacant staging client agreement. And if you're a seasoned business owner and you already have a pretty dialed in agreement, this might just be review for you, but you might find some things in here or listen to some things that you don't have in your vacant agreement that you will want to add. So, and then also before we move forward, just a little disclaimer. I am not giving you the legalese, like the legal version of what I'm explaining. So I'm going to tell you what I think you should have inside of your client agreement, but you certainly will want to make sure that you check the languaging with a business attorney to make sure that you are truly, truly covered. And for those of you that join us inside Rethink You Accelerate, we have my vacant staging agreement inside of the Swipe Studio. So it's really fantastic. You simply copy and then customize it. That has been vetted by a business attorney in my area. So that's another thing. You'd want that one vetted as well, but it has all of the things I'm about to share with you inside of it and then some. So let's dive in. Okay. So the first is rates and payment. So just a little aside, rates and payment, the way we handle it at Rethink Home Interiors is that the client doesn't have their installation date booked on our calendar until we receive the signed client agreement and payment in full. We don't do a 50% because our turnaround time is relatively quick. Even if we're booking 2 weeks out for an appointment or an installation date, it just from a bookkeeping perspective, it's very easy for things to fall through the cracks. So we take payment up full with a credit card on file. Okay. So that's a whole other episode. But what you want in this rates and payment section of your client agreement is the amount that they are going to pay you, how it has to be paid. So whether that's by credit card, ACH withdrawal, wire, however you handle it for your business. I don't recommend a check. Again, that slows everything down. And we need speed in this process. And then what happens as a result of that payment? So if you're taking a 50% deposit, does that mean then they get a secured installation date, for example? In the case of payment up full, then that means that the installation date is scheduled along with delivery and all of that along with the inventory. You want to make sure in this rates and payment section that you have the duration. How many months is this period for? And then what happens at the end of that period? Now, this is very important and it's really interesting. It just came up in one of our coaching calls with one of my students. I'm going to call this the Sarah clause, not the Santa Claus, but Sarah's clause, where she had a 5-month minimum period because it was a long-term as a model home. So the period was longer. And at the end of that lease, she wanted to destage, and now we're getting into a busier season. She'd love to have the inventory back. The property has not sold, and they want to go into this month-to-month leasing situation. Sarah would like to end the contract. However, the statement that she did not have in her agreement was that after the X month lease, after, like, say it's the 5 months, the lease will continue month to month. And this is the important part, until terminated by your business or the leasee. That's the first thing that was missing from her client agreement. So she actually didn't have in there that she could terminate the lease at the end of that minimum monthly rental period. And then the other thing was that she had priced it at a time when she had ample inventory, and she thinks she actually just made an accounting mistake when she was calculating how much the monthly rental would be, and she wanted to increase it. So the next step is rental rates during the month-to-month lease are subject to increase over and above the initial terms outlined in this agreement. And those will be communicated to the leasee prior to the credit card on file being charged at the new rental rate. Okay, so that's another piece that you will want to make sure that you have inside of your client agreement. In addition, you will want to make sure that you have something in your rates and payment section about credit card charges declined for any reason are subject to an administrative charge, whatever that is, $35, $50, however you want to make that. So that's your first rates and payments. So you need the amount, what happens when they pay that amount, how you are collecting it, how long is the term of your agreement, what happens at the end of that minimum monthly rental period, who can terminate the lease at that point, and that you have the option to increase the rental rates in addition to charging for declined credit card fee. Okay, so that's rates and payment. Oh, I feel like this is going to be a doozy of a podcast today. The next section that you'll want is the customer client protection plan. Now, there's a product called Staging Risk Management, which you can find at the Real Estate Staging Association, the website all about staging risk management. But this is another way that you can protect your inventory because it's not in our control. Now, your insurance company if you have good insurance, and that's going to be another podcast episode, if you have really good insurance, it will protect your inventory while it is on site at another property. However, you really don't want to make a claim against it because typically, always, it's if a property is breached by humans, water, insects, mice, you should not be responsible for that. That is the responsibility of the homeowner. So in that customer protection plan, you'll want a statement that says something like, the leasing agrees to pay an additional staging risk management fee. For this fee, your company will bear all the risks of damage to loss and property because you've had them pay for that staging risk assurance. If not, they need to provide you with documentation that your company is listed as an additionally insured person on their homeowner's insurance. And it can just be an accept decline box there that the person can choose staging risk management or to add you as an additionally insured. But either way, you should not be relying on your own business insurance when the property is out of your control. Your insurance should be if there's anything catastrophic that maybe happens in your own warehouse facility or something like that. Okay. So that is customer protection plan. So you want that as well. Scheduling is your next thing in your client agreement. You want to make sure that you are given ample notice of any cancellations. So if for whatever reason somebody needs to cancel, what is the window of time in which they can do that? So you know that based on your process. How far in advance do you pack and pull and load your vehicles for delivery? So, listen, and we'll talk about this as well. Sometimes you can be very forgiving and whatever. Other times you may need to lean into this policy. So it's important that you have it in here. But so, for example, ours is 72 hours. If we don't have 72 hours notice, we have a $500 non-refundable cancellation fee that will be incurred and charged to the credit card on file. Then in scheduling, actually, there's also access, right? So there's cancellation, but then there's actually access in which we would be canceling because we don't have clear access to the property. So you will want things like the property is free and clear of snow, ice, mud, obstacle, debris, construction, all of that. It has operational electrical and water. And if the site conditions are deemed unsafe, your company has the right to cancel the delivery, and a $500 non-refundable cancellation fee will be incurred, and they will be rescheduled for the next available appointment on your calendar. That is really important. And that we have as its own little section under scheduling that is just kind of highlighted. It's really, really important because what we often find with investors is they think that we can be in there when there's construction still happening, when there's not, pavement on the driveway, et cetera, et cetera. And then it's very easy. I live in the northeast of the United States. We do get snow and ice. And when a house is empty, typically there may not be arrangements made to clear snow for both D stage and stage. Then you want a section for responsibility for maintaining the property. And this is really important. The seller is responsible for the care and security of all items placed on their property for the duration of the rental period. This is really important. And that your company inspects the property prior to delivery to ensure it's free and clear of material defects and infestation. And it's the responsibility of the client to maintain the property in good condition, subject to ordinary wear. And then you want to talk about, in the event of loss, damage, what are the fees incurred for that? What does that look like? Again, if you are covering yourself in the section with staging risk management, as well as additionally insured, that will handle catastrophic loss. But if you need to clean because, God forbid, but it happens. Squatters have moved in. People have come in and had parties in places. They've used your things. They require cleaning and things like that, or an infestation has happened and the furniture is in otherwise good condition, but now you need to have it, fumigated and all of that. You need this